So today I'm doing an update on my high-fat carnivore diet that I've been doing now for about 2.5 weeks. I'm going to tell you the mistake that I made with ox bile, and I'm going to show you my t-shirts that arrived from my spread shop store and share with you what I've been eating and drinking and my weight loss so far. Hi there, my name is Sue. If you haven't visited my channel before, I've been on a carnivore diet now for about 21 months, and I've been on a high-fat version of the carnivore diet now for about 2.5 weeks, coming up 3 weeks. So I'm about at day 18 or 19, I think, on this way of eating. So what's been happening so far? I mostly feel amazing. I've had 1 or 2 days where things weren't so good, and that was due to oxalate dumping, and I have just put up a video about that, so you can go and check that out if you want to know more about that. But apart from that, I feel satiated, I feel happy, I feel really good, and my sleep has been variable. So if you've seen my earlier updates, you'll know that my bowel has been playing up since I increased my fat, and so I've actually dropped my fat down to 180 grams a day from 200 that I was doing, and I did that to try and make my bowel a little bit happier and make life a little bit easier for me. And I heard Dr. Bright say that disturbed sleep can be caused by us eating more fat than our bodies can handle at the time. So I kind of thought, that's probably me. So my sleep had been not too bad, but I'd been kind of waking early hours of the morning and then having a little bit of trouble getting back to sleep. So that has definitely improved now that I've lowered my fat. And so much so that not last night, the night before, I slept right through till 6:30, didn't even get up to go to the toilet. And last night I woke up once, and that was to go to the loo, which was probably about 4 or 5, or maybe 5 o'clock. And then I slept again until 6 or 6:30, something like that. So I'm actually planning on increasing my fat again once my bowel settles. So today has been much, much better, and so there was no diarrhea this morning. So things might be on the up and up, and my body, I've got a feeling, is just a little bit happier with the amount of fat that I'm eating. I do plan to increase my fat again though once everything settles down. I really want to get back up to the 200 gram a day mark. I think that my body just felt like it was a bit more satiated there, although if my body's using the fat that I'm eating rather than putting it out through the toilet, that's probably going to help. But also listening to Stephanie, Keto Person, she said that she's found that 200 grams minimum seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of people. So I'll give that a go once I can and see how it goes. So the mistake that I made with ox bile over the last couple of days is a mistake that I've obviously made prior, but just didn't realise it. I had forgotten about ox bile until just a few days ago. Somebody mentioned it in a comment under one of my videos, and I thought, oh, ox bile. So I went looking because I knew that I'd had some in the pantry, and it wasn't there. And then I remembered I'd actually given it away to a friend. So I ordered some more, and it arrived the next day, and I started taking it. And so I think I took it for basically 2.5 days before I realised the error of my ways. Another person, don't know who it was, I can't remember, put a comment under one of my videos basically saying that I shouldn't be taking ox bile with my meals. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, I don't know whether that's right. And I just said to them, I'll have a look into it and see what I can find on that. And then I kind of forgot about that, and then that night I jumped onto YouTube and I was looking for something to watch, and I opened up YouTube, and the first video there was basically saying, the title was something like, you shouldn't be taking ox bile with your meals, or and this is why. So I went and watched that video and realised that what I was doing was probably causing me more diarrhea, and I'm glad that I realised after only 2 days, because bile is alkaline, your stomach is acidic. When the food goes into your stomach, it gets acidified, and then it passes from your stomach into the duodenum. And when it gets there, that's when the bile is triggered to come out of the gallbladder, and the bile is alkaline, and so it alkalizes the food that's just come out of the stomach, and that creates what this person that was watching this video says is a sizzle that helps to extract the nutrients, and then it goes down through the small intestine. Now, if that doesn't happen, if the bile doesn't make the acidified food more alkaline, and that passes through into the small intestine still acidic, then that's going to burn the small intestine, obviously. So your body flushes that through, flushes lots of water and flushes that through, and that can cause diarrhea. So that's what happens if your gallbladder isn't working properly, which I suspect mine hasn't really been working properly for a lot of years, probably. But if that's not working properly, or even if it is working properly, and you take ox bile when you're eating your food, then the alkaline ox bile is stopping the acidification of the food in your stomach, because it's undoing, like it's neutralizing the acid basically in the stomach. So then when it goes from there into the duodenum, it doesn't trigger the gallbladder, and so then it's passing down into the small intestine, and the gallbladder isn't doing its thing. So that also can contribute to diarrhea. So I thought, oh, okay. So I stopped taking the ox bile, and that was not yesterday, the day before. Yeah, so yesterday I had a bit of a rough day, and then this morning has been much, much better. So I think that the ox bile is something that I probably won't take again. You can take ox bile, I discovered, for Sibo. So the brand of ox bile that I bought is Seeking Health, which is a smaller dose than some of them. I like the Seeking Health supplements because I trust the owner. I think that he does a good job of formulating his supplements, just from listening to interviews with him online. And the Seeking Health one, it says on the bottle that you can take it at night time before you go to bed, and I thought, oh, I wonder what that's about. So I did a bit of a Google search, and I came across a lady. I think she's a nutritionist or a naturopath. She was talking about how she resolved her SIBO by using the Seeking Health ox bile at night before she went to bed, and also she was using sunflower lecithin for the phosphatidylcholine. But I mean, if you're on a carnivore diet eating egg yolks and all that sort of thing, you're getting plenty of choline anyway. And so she reversed her SIBO by doing that, because that's one of the things that your bile does also, is that it helps to control bacterial overgrowth in the small intestine. So by taking it at night time on an empty stomach, that can help that as well. So I didn't know that until this. So I may try taking some ox bile at night time before I go to bed, but I'm going to wait until everything settles down and then see how that goes and whether that actually makes any difference. I might not need it, I'm not really sure, but because everything had been good before I started eating this way for a few months. But it's hard to say with SIBO, whether it's completely gone or whether there's something still kind of lurking there. And because I've gone off the SIBO yogurt and everything, I'm just kind of not quite sure. So if I have any suspicion that there's still something going on there, then I might actually try taking that ox bile at night time before I go to bed. So the other things that I'm doing to help to support my gallbladder and my liver, I'm taking milk thistle. I think I mentioned that in a video the other day, and I'm also doing castor oil packs. And so I've only done 2 of those. I'm going to do one tonight, and I'll probably do one maybe tomorrow night. I thought I'll do them a couple of times a week and see how that goes, to just to help get my gallbladder hopefully functioning the way that it should do. And apparently the main problem with the gallbladder often is that the bile becomes thick and sludgy, and that's all to do with diet and all the rest of it. And so eating the way that I'm eating without any processed foods and that, it should actually be getting better. And I was thinking it's obviously improved a lot, because having done the SIBO protocol and everything being so much better with the way my body was handling everything prior to going high fat, kind of indicates that my gallbladder is probably working pretty well now. But just when I upped my fat, it wasn't handling it there, but it is getting better. So now something that I think I mentioned the other day that I'd noticed over the last few days, probably the last week or so, is that my blood glucose has gone up a bit. So the first maybe 10 days of eating this way, my blood glucose was really low, like it was sitting around, anything between 4.1 and 4.4. My fasting glucose every morning was, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. And I was like, oh, this is pretty impressive. And then all of a sudden it changed. And it was, 5.1, 5.2, 5.4. And I thought, I wonder why that is. And so I went looking for information to try and work out why that would be. And the conclusion that I've come to is that because of the way that I'm eating, my insulin that my pancreas is making is getting lower, but my cells are still insulin resistant. So that means that there's more glucose floating around in my blood because there's less insulin to push it into my cells, and what is there, my cells are still resisting. So it's a bit harder to get the glucose into my cells. But over a little bit of time, that should change. Now, what I've found is over the last few days is that my fasting glucose had gone up a little bit more. So it was 5.2 yesterday, 5.2 the day before. And then, like yesterday after I had breakfast, which was just basically meat and fat, my glucose went up to 5.6. About 2 hours I tested after I'd eaten, and it was 5.6. But then later in the day, it came down to 4.7, maybe lower, I think. And then this morning, my fasting glucose was 5.1. After I had breakfast, it went down to 4.7. So I'm wondering if things are starting to change with that. But I'll find out, I guess, over the next few days. So yesterday was the day that my glucose has been the highest. As I said, I woke up and it was 5.2, and then after breakfast, 2 hours after breakfast, it was 5.6, which is kind of the highest that it had been. And I had not quite as much fat yesterday with breakfast, and I didn't have as much with lunch either, because things have been so a little bit rough, with the whole toilet situation. I thought I'll leave a lot of my fat till later. But what happened was I was absolutely starving. I have not been that hungry since I've been eating this way. And by the time it came to dinner time, I was famished, absolutely famished. And I was sitting there trying to hold off before we have tea. There's a fly flying past. Trying to hold off, and then in the end it was like 5:30. I'm like, I've got to cook dinner. I'm so hungry. So yeah, once I had dinner, I was fine, and this morning I've been fine. Obviously because my blood glucose is a bit lower again, and I think that things are changing. So the next thing I wanted to say was that I wanted to show you, I ordered some t-shirts from my Spreadshop shop. So they're all below my videos. These are my designs. Most of them are my designs anyway. And so this one here is my favorite design, and that is life just wouldn't be the same without butter. So if you're a butter fan like me, then you might want to check out. I've got this on long sleeve t-shirts. I think it's on some sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts and tank tops as well, I think. I'll pop a couple of photos up here, and so you can see this one of mine I've got on. And I also got another t-shirt, a black one with my website with meetmydiet.com on it. And I got hubby a t-shirt with hashtag proper human diet on it, which he quite likes. He's not big into wearing things with words, so I thought that one was nice and simple for him. So the t-shirts I love. The fabrics are nice. They're nice quality. They took only about 13 or 14 days to get here to New Zealand, which was quite quick, I thought. And they're nice and soft, nice fabrics, good quality, and that was why I wanted to order them, because I wanted to kind of see what they were like. And yeah, I love this one. I love the colour of it. And so yeah, so if you want to check those out, you can go just click on the link to my store below the video, and you can go and check out what I've got there. I've got quite a few designs on there, and more to come when I get time. And what have I been eating? All right, so my meals are generally pretty simple, especially at the moment eating this way. They're mostly steak, egg yolks, sometimes whole eggs, butter or lard, and mayos that I've been making. So that's one of the ways that I get enough fat, is to be eating egg yolks and leaving the whites behind, and also eating butter and then making mayos with butter and other animal fats. So I put a video up just maybe last week or the week before of how to make butter mayo. So you can go and check that out if you haven't seen that. It's really simple and really quick. And you can switch out the butter for pork lard. You can switch it out for tallow, duck fat, any kind of animal fat. You can pop in there to change it up. I did one the other day, which is really nice, and I used half butter and half pork lard. And then I used a whole grain French mustard and apple cider vinegar instead of the lemon juice, and it's really nice. It's quite decadent with the pork lard and the butter in there. I'll put up some of my meals here so that you can actually see what I've been eating over the last week.
So this is just a meatball made with ground beef and salt and some butter and some sauerkraut. And this was lunch on a really busy day in between clients, and I just had, I think it was about 8 strips of bacon. And then this was dinner, and it just consisted of 100 grams of Scotch fillet or ribeye, 3 egg yolks, and some butter mayo, and some butter, and some fermented veg. And more of the same. I told you I keep it simple. Some ribeye, some butter mayo, and some sauerkraut. And this meal I had some Wagyu rump steak, a couple of slices of bacon, and some freshly made butter mayonnaise. And this was tonight's dinner with some strips of pork belly that I air fried till they were nice and crispy, quarter of an avocado, some pork and butter mayonnaise, and fermented veggies.
And what about drinks? What do I drink? So I currently drink organic green tea in the morning, a loose leaf tea. I don't like tea bags because most tea bags contain plastics and glues, and I don't really want to be ingesting those. And I sometimes drink yerba mate tea. I quite like that as well. And I will often have a decaf with butter later in the day sometime. So I've made a couple of times this week a fatty latte with egg yolk and butter, and you just whiz that up, and that's quite nice. You just got to put your boiling water in and be whizzing it at the same time so the egg yolk doesn't cook from the boiling water. That's the trick to it. But it's quite nice, and it's a great way to get extra fat in as well. And apart from that, I drink water. So most of the time at the moment, room temperature water. I have my water bottle on me just about all the time. And in all of my water, at the moment, I use Trace Ocean Minerals. So I use this. It's an electrolyte blend, basically, that's made from ocean water. So it contains not just the usual salt, potassium, and magnesium, but it contains all the trace minerals as well. So to me, it makes sense that it's a more natural and kind of balanced version because it has those major minerals in it, but it also has the trace minerals. It doesn't have as much salt as most electrolyte blends. And so if I need more salt, I just add some salt to my water as well. So if I need salt, I these days, I'm back to using Sole. So Sole is a super saturated salt solution, and all you do is you get a jar, you put some salt in the bottom of it. So I use Celtic sea salt. You can use Himalayan salt or Redmond's, and then you just fill the jar up with water, and you want to keep adding salt until the salt stops dissolving into the water. And so you always should have some salt crystals down the bottom, and it just means that the water has got so much salt in it that it can't absorb any more. And because it's already suspended in the water, it makes it assimilate into your body and your cells in a better way. And so if I need salt, I just pop a teaspoon of that into my water, and with my trace minerals as well. I have a link to the trace minerals, ocean minerals, below all my videos if you want to check those out. And so now onto my weight. Drum roll. All right. So it's been 2.5 weeks, and I'm down 2.1 kilos. I was down 2 kilos after 2 weeks, and in the last half a week, I've just dropped another 100 kilos today when I got on the scales. I'm kind of figuring that there'll be more weight loss over the next couple of days showing on the scales because I can kind of feel it in my body. It's after this many years of losing, gaining. I kind of know the feeling, and I can kind of tell because the skin on my stomach just kind of starts feeling emptier. My stomach feels flatter when I'm lying in bed, and my hips and my ribs are more easily kind of palpable. So I can feel that I'm losing, and I'm sure that the scales will catch up in the next few days. So that's it. So that's my update for today. And if you've got any comments or questions, please fire away below, and I'll get to those as soon as I can. I thank you very much for watching. If you choose to share this or like this video, I thank you for that as well. That helps to support my channel greatly. Thanks for listening to me, and I will talk to you again another day. Bye for now.